Hello everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back to my F122 My Team Career Mode. We are now here at round 5 for the Miami Grand Prix. And you know what? The fake marina looks more real on the game than it does in real life. So, that's an achievement in itself. Anyway, we scored a couple of points in MLS, so let's keep the momentum going and try and get some points here. We are racing at the all-new Miami circuit, which goes around the Hard Rock Stadium. It's impressive, actually, that they've turned a car park into a racing circuit. But anyway, let's get into it. We want to try and get out of Q1. So far, we have been unsuccessful, but the one thing I've found, again, is that we have better race pace than what we do over one lap. And this is a sector around this particular circuit where those tenths of a second can really be lost. And it's this chicane here that really, it kind of gets me off the time. You end up hitting that curb a little too hard. But this time round, no such drama. Alonso's set on 1 minute 30, so that's the sort of time we should be aiming for. It's a 1:31.3, that's nowhere near good enough. Our second lap, however, is improved, and it's a 1:30.4. And it puts us in P14, and initially, I had hope. But in the last couple of minutes, the AI just seemed to gain an exponential amount of time. And once again, we are on the back row. There's work to do in the race.
Welcome to the Magic City. We are here at the Miami International Autodrome, the home of the Hard Rock Stadium, a multi-purpose sports and entertainment hub which has hosted Super Bowls, Baseball World Series, numerous rock concerts, and now, for the first time, Formula One. And 19 corners make up the Miami International Autodrome, which will challenge the drivers in a tight wheel-to-wheel race. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Sainz, Russell, Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Perez, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Magnussen, and Valtteri Bottas, Norris, Mick Schumacher, Pierre Gasly, and Tsunoda, Vettel, Ricciardo, Daniel Ticktum, and Guan Yu Zhou. Joker, Albon, they've taken a grid penalty. Latifi, Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. It's just about time to go to the track for the beginning of the race, but before we do, Anthony Davidson, what types of strategy do you think we can expect for today's event?
Well, there's a lot that both the driver and the team have to keep in mind when going into a race. Tyres, fuel, energy recovery systems, the list goes on and on. But I think the key to today's victory will come down to the pit stop strategy. Come in too soon and you might find yourself needing more than one stop. Too late and you're putting yourself at a disadvantage by spending longer on worn tyres.
Away on the formation lap here, it may be little surprise to see Charles Leclerc on pole with Max Verstappen alongside, Sainz and Russell third and fourth. But it's interesting to see that everybody is on mediums for the start of the race, so a very similar strategy being run for the entire field. I did contemplate going on softs and going aggressive in the start, but again, this is quite a high wear circuit, so I'll be probably looking at a lower wear circuit to try something like that. Maybe Monza. Maybe Monza will try something a bit more radical, but for now, we're going to stick to what we've got. We've got a one stop onto hards, and we'll be pitting around lap 13 or 14. I tend to pit the lap after the AI pit, because while they're getting their tyres up to temperature, they do lose up to a second and a half, and it's a quick way to get a cheap position if you're close to a cheap position. So it's a tactic I've adopted in this series for sure. Anyway, the last cars are putting themselves into position now, and I think I have gained a couple of places because of a penalty, so we're now in P19 at the start. We're getting ready for the start of the race, and it's lights out and away we go. And Zhou Guanyu jumped the start there. I am sure of it. I am sure of it. The launch he got there. Anyway, down the inside we go. I'm being squeezed, but we did seem to make 1 or 2 gains. But it's my exit through there that has cost me. And Dan Tickton finding a way through up into P17. And I'm fighting off Albon and Zhou Guanyu, who again, I'm sure jumped the start. I'm not going to drop this. I'm pretty sure that happened. But anyway, we are now trying to stay on the back of Dan Tickton, but we're losing ground to the cars in front. And I've got to defend from Alex Albon behind because he is on the attack. He is trying to come at me as we come into the braking zone for the next corner. Tickton taking a very bold dive up the inside of Vettel there and getting the move done. Well done, teammate. Go on. If I can't be right up there, let's see you have a chance. Right, Zhou Guanyu is now coming at me for P19. He's gone round the outside. He has taken the position. We've got the inside line for the next corner and turn 1, and we brake a bit later and take that position back. But the problem is we're starting to lose time fighting other drivers behind us. And the one thing I have noticed on this game is that there is an increase in the time you lose fighting other cars behind you as opposed to F1 2021. So that's a nice realistic touch added in there, but not for us while we're fighting cars behind while trying to keep within the DRS range of Sebastian Vettel in front. Here comes Zhou Guanyu again down the inside, trying to force the issue. I'm sticking it out around the outside, and I've managed to keep the position. But Zhou Guanyu is looking pretty quick at this stage, and he's bringing Lance Stroll with him. But because of having to fight him, I have now dropped outside of Sebastian Vettel's DRS, and we're just losing time fighting these guys off. Right, here comes Zhou Guanyu yet again down the straight. I try to cover him, but there's little I can do there as he's gone down the inside and forced the issue, and he's got the place, and now I'm out of... I didn't get the best exit out of there, and it's now left me vulnerable to Stroll in turn 1. I'm trying to cover him, but I've outbraked myself, and Stroll's actually got into Zhou Guanyu there, so Stroll's clattered him, and Nicholas Latifi has also gone through. I have fallen down to last, battling these guys way too hard, and I'm trying to find ways through, but there just isn't one, and Stroll is compromised with the damage that's allowing me to stay with them. I'm going down the inside of Latifi here. Can I get Stroll too? Can I get him too? No, there's contact, and we've gone round. Oh dear, I feel like I should have just stuck for going for Latifi there. That was overly ambitious, to say the least. Albon is in the pits. I'm not sure what's happened to Albon. He must have had some kind of incident. Stroll pitting as well. And I'm not surprised he took damage after hitting Zhou Guanyu. That was a hefty whack he gave him. Right, let's try and catch back up to Nicholas Latifi. Meanwhile, Vettel is having a look at Dan Tickton. He's more than having a look at him. He's giving him a love tap, and that's taken a bit of Vettel's front wing off. So he may need to pit in and replace that. So that's bad luck for Vettel when he does pit in to replace it, and he goes on the hard tyres. So that's rotten luck for Vettel. Aston Martin's day of misery just compounded. And speaking of day of misery, Yuki Tsunoda is out of the race. He is pulling off with a blown engine. So that is his day done. Back with the race now. I'm pitting in, taking on the hard tyres. I pitted in a lap later than Latifi because I'd got the gap down to 1.5 seconds on him. So I'm hoping that'll be enough to give me the position on him. Will it be enough? It is just about enough to get me ahead of Latifi. But I am going to be struggling with these tyres for a moment or so. You can see me weaving slightly there, just to try and get some kind of heat in the tyres. And Latifi is all over me. He is not going to give this up easy. He senses an opportunity. He's having a look down the inside there, but I've shut that one off. Shutting the door there and showing him that he will not come past at that corner. But I do think that within the DRS he is going to get me. Meanwhile, we're now watching Zhou Guanyu having a battle with Sebastian... Is that Sebastian Vettel or is that Lance Stroll? It's one of the Aston Martins. Zhou Guanyu trying to go around the outside. No room there. Oh, he's tagged the Aston Martin there. He's given him a little bit of a love tap. I can't see which one that is, but I know Zhou Guanyu is going after him. I do believe it is Sebastian Vettel he is fighting. He has had a fair few scrapes today, hasn't he? Anyway, we're now on to the back straight. Is Zhou Guanyu going to have another go? He's getting right into the slipstream. And this is quite a fascinating fight. Vettel goes to defend. Around the outside goes Zhou Guanyu. Is he going to be able to make it work? No, because he just turned straight into the Aston Martin. And that will be Zhou Guanyu making another pit stop for a front wing. So that's unfortunate for him. And it was Vettel that he was battling, as I've now got Latifi coming down my inside. And Latifi is just going to get the move done, I think. Yes, he is. But I'm going to carry momentum. I'm going to try and get him back as Zhou Guanyu is in the pits. We are not going to finish behind Latifi as much as he is the GOAT of F1. I'm still not finishing behind him. And we're now going to use this first sector to gain a bit of momentum. I'm pretty handy around these corners now that I've mastered how to actually hit these apexes and not miss them by the gap that you could park a bus in. We're going to go straight down the inside of Latifi here, and I am taking that place straight back. You can see on the replay here, I am not messing around. I'm going down the inside. I'm getting this overtake done. Latifi, I think, turns in and taps me there, so he might take damage from that. But I was clearly alongside in the corner, so I think he should have given me a little bit more room than that. But anyway, we are up into P17, and we are bringing the gap down on Sebastian Vettel. But unfortunately, we're running out of fuel, so towards the end, just to make the end, I began lifting and coasting, and it got to a stage where Leclerc was very close to me, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to let him through, going to let him lap me. It's one lap less stress on the engine, so we'd be saving the engine and the components from an extra lap, and it's just a day to forget in Miami, really. I feel like if we hadn't had the coming together with Stroll at the beginning, we might have been able to get in amongst it between Vettel and Ticktum by the end of this race, because we were catching them by about a second a lap once we cleared Latifi, and the pace was there. So I feel like more could have been done in this race, and I do feel like we left a potential better result on the table, but it is what it is. It's just one to forget.
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari. It hardly looked in doubt. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today, and a stunning win for Ferrari.
Well, it's another win for Charles Leclerc, who is right now in the form of his life, because he won the sprint and the main race in Imola, and he's won again here by quite a comfortable margin of 5 seconds. Sainz has got 5th, but like I said, I really feel like we left some scraps on the table there. We wouldn't have got any further than P15, but I definitely think without that spin, the pace we had, we would have been able to catch Ticktum and Vettel. And it's disappointing when you do leave scraps on the table when you know you could have got a little bit of a better result, but it is what
Be
it
sure to
is,
join
you
us
know, there's
again
no
as we
point
continue
dwelling
to
on
bring you
it.
the latest
We're just going to
excitement.
move to the next one and keep positive. And as you can see in the championship, we still hold on to 13th on 4 points. Charles Leclerc extends his lead. It's now up to 20 points. Russell still hanging about in 3rd in the championship and Alonso in 4th. Followed by Perez, Sainz, Bottas, Hamilton, Ocon and Norris rounding out the top 10. So Charles Leclerc right now just seems to be a little bit unstoppable. That Ferrari is a rocket ship. But Max could claw his way back yet. Who knows? It's a long, long season. And as you can see there, Ferrari getting the championship lead in the Constructors. Red Bull 2nd, Mercedes 3rd. We're still hanging on to 9th, but I'm dreading the day that Aston Martin start getting points because that could spell trouble for us. Well, thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and hit the subscribe button if you're new here. You want to see more content from me. Till next time, thanks for watching. TTFN, ta for now.